Damn. All right, we are live.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 349. Tonight I'm joined with Jared Schneiderman.
Hey, guys.
And returning again is Nicholas Picone.
Hey.
And as always, James Babb.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Not too much.
We were just discussing how much money Nick stole from an ATM this week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Don't
Nick
say
is
that.
Nick is a fugitive.
I kid.
He's been getting this intel on how like the back of banks work and ATMs and money movement and security. We really needed an inside guy here for a while.
No, there goes that raise I was hoping for.
I'm sorry. I kid. But yeah, it's just been we're just talking about how it's been kind of like a boring week this week so far.
Are you kidding? Boring week?
A boring week news-wise.
Well, what about Dogecoin? I mean, come on.
Well, that's probably been the biggest thing. Yeah. So Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live last night, and apparently, which had multiple different storylines, because earlier in the week, people were saying that they needed a safe space because, or some of the cast members on Saturday Night Live were saying that they didn't want to perform with him. They couldn't be in the same room with him.
He was too rich, or what is their requirement? He didn't molest
I don't know.
Kids.
I have no clue, but it's just typical.
God,
I don't know. What do you? Did you guys hear anything about that? Because I
did hear about that.
Yeah,
but
I heard
that. Who were the? Well, first of all, I was surprised that the buried lead is that Saturday Night Live still exists, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of along that lines myself.
I had no idea, and then people were like, "Did you see it?" I'm like, "I don't even have TV. How do you even watch Saturday Night Live if you're into it? Is it on regular TV?
Well,
What channel?
Yes.
It's like, how many of you guys knew that The Simpsons went on after Phil Hartman died? I didn't.
I mean, I did. Unfortunately, I was a fan of it for a long time after it jumped the shark, really. But yeah, Saturday Night Live's been so fucking terrible for at least coming up on 20 years. It's just been terrible. You know, Will Ferrell was probably the last real funny. I mean, I guess you had Andy Samberg was on there for a while. He was pretty funny. But other than that, I've never felt every time you turn it in, you think
it was as soon as Keenan rose to power, it kind of went downhill.
I feel guilty because there's one video that's from Saturday Night Live that I watch on YouTube all the time, and it's actually The Rock, who is in an evil villain competition, and he invents a child molesting robot, and that is very funny.
Compete with Hollywood or Washington?
Well, the joke. It's honestly the whole joke is it ends up being a White Castle commercial. He shows up to the evil scientist convention, and they've all invented freeze rays and shrink rays, and they're going to attack the world's national monuments. And he comes in, and he's like, it was supposed to be. We were all supposed to invent the most evil thing we could come up with, and you invented a snowstorm in July. I think child molesting robot pretty much wins, right? Or do I pick up my prize?
Wow. Well, yeah, but see, that's their model. That's Saturday Night Live's model is they can get just a few, how pretty much all late night shows are. Is what they do is they go for the YouTube clip the day after, where just the one little funny hook, and that's what gets them the views and the ratings and stuff.
Well,
it gets posted to YouTube.
I was talking with Brett Venat about this the other day because he gets disheartened by this, and because he's like, I'll go and I'll watch this video from Jimmy Fallon or from what's it called, and then there'll be 1 million views on it, and then I'll go, Brett, but that's exactly how they freaked out the people with coronavirus. They're showing these numbers that you're not used to seeing. Go look at a Jake Paul video and then tell me you're sweating that 1 million views on fucking Colbert. When Jake Paul has got 700 million views on his videos,
right?
Didn't
he just get punched in the face by Floyd Mayweather this week? He stole. Wait, who's? Yeah, his brother. I don't know if it's Jake or I forget who it is. One of them is fighting Floyd Mayweather, and whoever's not fighting him, whatever brother that's not fighting him, apparently went up to Floyd Mayweather and took his hat, like just took his hat off of him, and like his whole crew like beat him up and broke his tooth. And I don't even know who these guys are. I know they're like internet personalities.
What's the correct level of retaliation for a hat grab to
what's the
your fighter?
Well, what's really funny to me is that like the town that those guys are from is like the next neighborhood over from where I live.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like basically you drive like 10 more minutes down the highway and it becomes this really wealthy suburb of Cleveland that they're from. And then like he got famous on YouTube and they just moved to LA and did that shit. He's actually on a show that my daughter loves called Bizarrevark. And he was he just played a dumb idiot like YouTube personality. It was funny. His stuff's like just dumb. And you're like, how do people watch this shit? And then you're like, oh wait, we're 12. Of course we do. Like, that's the answer to everything. 12-year-olds.
But here's the thing. Going back to what we were talking about before, you know, Kenan Thompson he's been ruining TV shows since like when he was on All That back in the 90s.
Whoa, you thought he ruined All That?
Dude, he was so not funny.
Dude, I mean, I don't know.
You're just being racist. He was the only black
8-year-old me laughed a lot at that show. And laughed a lot at
loved All That.
Kenan and Kel.
Well, of course, Kenan and Kel was funny, but that was only because of Kel. And Kel turned out to be like a crackhead or something, from what I
No, I think he just like had a normal life after it. I think he was just
Did
like
he?
Yeah, I think he just like was like, I'm all right, I'm good.
I mean, I'm just making assertions here. I have no clue.
You're
I have no
racist.
idea who any of these people are that you're talking about, or the shows you're talking
yeah,
about.
okay,
like,
boomer.
I must have been like in some kind of a like cultural void because
every time can we get like the girl with the okay boomer tits shaking around like every time you say that to Bab? It'd make my life better. At least I can
You
look
were
at this
smoking. You were so much cool. You're probably like smoking weed and shit at this time. Like you're way more advanced than us. All right.
He's probably the guy that came up with that video that we watched not terribly long ago about don't do drugs.
God, that was funny.
It sucks that Babs missed that. Like he could really experience life more fully through that.
We got to put together another one of those panels.
Yeah, like to see that.
See, get George and Barbara Bush up there.
Oh man, it was some type of, it was like, what was it called? It was a PSA pretty much with every cartoon character you can think of about not doing drugs.
Cartoon
put out in the 80s.
All-Stars, it was called.
Yeah, the Cartoon All-Stars. And we went over and we just did like a live watching of it and just made fun of it the whole time.
We got to watch it again, only really high this time.
Maybe we should.
Was that like Reagan stuff, like Nancy Reagan, or
it was
they were in it?
Barbara Bush.
Barbara Bush.
Yeah, Barbara Bush.
Barbara Bush.
They were actually in this video.
Remember how old she was, even as first lady? Like she looked like George Sr.'s mother, even then, right?
Nick,
and
didn't you suggest we do like
being old? You know, at least I'd be judged. But
Nick, didn't you do Captain Planet? Didn't you suggest Captain Planet?
Well, so me and my environmentalism podcast I was doing there, we started going through Captain Planet episode by episode, and that shit's hysterical to me. Which is just Ted Turner like putting all the propaganda he can into one TV show. And I'm sorry, that was watched by a lot of fucking people. Like there's nobody of our generation that didn't watch Captain Planet. And holy shit, that stuff was intense.
Shit was so heavy propagandized. Like the propaganda was strong in that shit.
The main villain in the first episode is Hoggish Greedley. And he drives a big machine that's trying to suck all the oil out of the oceans and then ends up spraying most of it into the ocean. And you're like, what kind of shitty businessman is this fucking dude? You want the oil. You don't waste oil because that's fucking money you're dumping in the ocean. We don't dump money in the ocean. We take the oil to make the fucking money.
Oh my god. Well,
and how's he sucking it out of the ocean?
Oh, dude, it's got like this giant, like crab-like machine.
Is that possible?
Dude,
are there oil wells in the middle? I guess there are oil wells in the ocean.
What I'm saying, Jared, is if you really want to laugh your ass off, go try and watch some of those episodes because it's worth the time invest. It's just like what?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we'll do an episode.
Let's do another like a joint PRL one where we go over this. Let's do this sometime.
And you can. What's really weird is you can see some of like the woke shit even back then creeping in. Not what it is today, but like it was definitely there.
Dude, it was bad, but
21, bro.
Oh, Well, it's sustainable development now is what it's called. Remember that.
Oh,
because they couldn't make it happen by 2021. They had to spark the COVID stuff to push us.
Degrowth. It's the degrowth movement.
Degrowth.
Speaking of which, anyone catch Del Bigtree on Pete Quinones this week?
Who?
No.
What now?
Wait, what topic was it about? What was it talking about?
Vaccines.
No, I didn't catch that.
Dude, it was intense.
No, I think the last one I listened to him was with Scott Horton. I think that was the last one. That was this week.
Okay.
The Scott Horton interviews are great. He just basically lets Scott rant, just like he just goes.
Well,
like,
that's what you do with. That's what you do with Scott. You just give him a topic and just say, "Hey, go for 35 minutes before you breathe."
See, now you got Otto's like boner rage and thinking about how he's gonna meet Scott this week.
I know. I'm so
that's
excited.
So cool. That's so awesome.
I'm more. The boner's coming from meeting you, Nick. That's in person. That's the boner.
And so with the new, by the way, it's like my job's changed a bit. I don't have to work Saturdays anymore, so nice. I might be able to do Friday to Saturday. Let's see what happens.
What night is Scott Horton on?
Friday.
I think Friday.
Yeah. No, wait.
Pittsburgh area.
Yes, it is Friday. It's him and Dave Smith are on Friday.
Isn't Samaroff on Friday too?
Maybe. I know. I think Rechtenwald is going to be. For everyone listening, we're talking about the Mises Caucus Bash, which is happening at the Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania's convention in Pittsburgh this weekend. What do
I need for tickets to see Scott Horton?
I will send $60 for the whole thing, but
it's or 20. Are you a member of the Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania still?
No, I had to renounce them.
Well, how much does it cost to be a member?
No, I actually never renounced, but I just never renewed.
Well, it's $20 if you join up to the party. You can get in for free. So you just
but that sounds like What is or there you can pay for
$60 if you want to show up at the door. Yeah,
60. All right, that's totally worth it. I mean,
cool. Yeah, man, dude,
it's gonna be a fun time. I know a bunch of people are heading out to this. So
after this is over, oh my god, dude, everyone's gonna be there. Like literally everyone I know. I think the only one who's not gonna be there that I can think of off the top of my head would be Tom Woods and that's about it. And Jared. Well, you're nobody. So here.
I'm excited to give Michael Heiss like an in-person hug for the first time. That guy needs it.
God,
you two hugging is like my porn, I guess.
That's
spank bank material.
That's the BBW shit.
Like the ability, that kid's ability to stay positive with all the shit they sling at him is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: has Faketarians gotten outraged about Scott Horton yet? Like,
no,
I'd like to
not yet.
Go that far.
They all say that he's alt-right adjacent because he is friends with the people from the Mises Caucus.
They call Scott Horton alt-right adjacent?
Adjacent, yeah, and he's like a fascist sympathizer or something like that. A few people have thrown that out.
Meanwhile, the guys have been.
If you could see that space,
the hardest of lefties are all friends with Scott Horton. He's been an anti-war advocate literally forever.
Yeah,
not to mention the Libertarian Institute and all the work on police accountability associated. I mean, and how many interviews has Scott done? Like 6,000. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of interviews.
That's Quinones' thing too, is police accountability. They do not care what the fuck you're about, man. It's never been about that. Like I said, I got called racist constantly when I was actively with the Mises Caucus, and it's like, okay, great guys, you really got it. Half of the executive staff was black or Mexican or some shit.
Yeah, they got like it's 9 board members, and I think like most are like there's like several women and a few people,
Well, you should just remind them that in Pennsylvania, it wasn't the Mises Caucus that invited Augustus Invictus to the Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania convention. Okay,
that was a Mr. Steve Sheets, right?
So let's just, anyone who wants to throw that around in Pennsylvania better be careful.
Why? I guess I don't understand like how that guy ever took off. Like he just had a name like a fucking tool. Like, wouldn't you? No. Augusta.
Did he really take off? Did he go anywhere? I mean,
yeah.
Really.
He
was it like
little...
skyrocketing to the top of the?
He had a little bit of notoriety.
Well, he did the goat blood stunt, which that's definitely good for a lot of media attention.
Spilled beer on myself.
Did you hear any of his like audio recordings when he was doing like some weird drug trips and doing some like sort of atonal vocalizing?
Wasn't he sacrificing goats or something?
It was like some really weird, like just, whatever your art is, I don't care. But this was definitely some like disturbing audio content.
And then he was like,
evidently
white ethno-state supporter.
It's all that DSMR, like heavy breathing for white supremacists.
Yeah.
God.
DSMR?
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck
ASMR?
ASMR?
Dick SMR?
I don't even know what the hell the original thing stands for.
Yeah, actually, I don't
know. I
remember
Steve Sheet said, but wait, but I still don't see how he's a fascist. And like, well, look at he's actually got Mussolini's logo tattooed across his back. Okay, like
wow.
And he addresses fellow fascists in a YouTube video. But I still can't. I don't know. Also,
meanwhile, Otto over here is clearly a fascist.
Also, a college paper on eugenics and how to use the state to further the human genome or whatever.
Oh my God!
Why do you want the state doing that?
Why not?
You gotta
why not?
Get a goddamn piece of mail delivered reliably. You
have to wonder how the what's it called there. Like how Harvard didn't pick him up with writing papers like that, That's like what they love.
Harvard.
You think he should have got like a scholarship at Harvard for that, or?
Well, I think that's generally what they give him out for.
Well, he could still get one, right?
I suppose. And then you get your position over to the Tavistock Institute, and before you know it.
Oh boy, here comes Doomer Nick.
I know.
He's getting revved up. About to leave the station.
I love it.
So I was having like my weekly school sucks meeting this week with the people over in that audit crew. And I'm like, so how many of you guys think that I'm incredibly depressing? Because I feel like every time I'm on Punk Rock Libertarians, like I'm just like putting everyone into like full doomer mode over there.
Well,
what was their answer?
What's the vibe on school sucks? Is it positive?
I mean, it's every Sunday at 10 a.m. we get together and do our little Zoom call, and it's more therapy than anything else. Like, can you believe
Brett
this
really
shit?
I love Brett's production style. He really he puts out a high quality product.
Well, and
wonder what that's like.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just figure it's beyond my ability.
Well, he's got something new that he's going to be putting together. So keep your eyes peeled.
Oh shit!
Much respect.
Already.
I think Corey DeAngelis is kind of taking his thunder as far as like being like the education guy in the Liberty movement.
Yeah, I heard him on. I think it was on Malice. Yeah, I think it was on Malice. It was good.
His messaging's good.
Education. What's up?
His messaging's really good, and he works. He's not in like the, we'll say like the truther kind of space as much as Brett kind of gets attached to. So he has more of an in with like the Republicans and stuff that he can at least help shoe policy one direction or another in that way. That I think Brett would have always had trouble with.
Right.
But know,
Dogecoin.
Yeah, Dogecoin.
So what is Dogecoin other than a meme coin? Someone catch me up on this.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I think it was a fork of Bitcoin at some point. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just a meme coin that Elon Musk has been pushing for the past, 6 months.
Well, somebody leaked the rumor that he was going to be on SNL and doing a Dogecoin skit. So then the speculation began. Although it did
more recently,
but I think it might be bouncing back. Who knows? Dogecoin might.
Well, yeah.
Not be
So
yet.
I was hanging out with some buddies. We got drunk and we decided we were going to watch at least like the beginning of SNL until they said the word Dogecoin, which we figured would be pretty immediately. And so like right before, I just was like, fuck. I didn't have any Dogecoin because I had sold like whatever I had before. I was like, fuck it, and I bought like $200 worth. And then so as soon as the show like started, like it starts climbing, Dogecoin starts climbing, and it gets all the way up to like 75, like. Maybe like right as they're doing like the intro segment where they're like wearing their masks and they're like running around New York City and shit. And then as soon as they get to like the part where Elon does his little monologue and he brings like his mom up because it's Mother's Day shit, and the mom's like trying to be funny, but it's extremely awkward and uncomfortable because they both have like Asperger's. And so like she says something about like getting her Dogecoin for Mother's Day. And then he says, I don't know, it's some little stupid joke.
I got you a present for Mother's Day. And she says something like, I hope it wasn't Dogecoin.
I hope it was. And he says it was. And then as soon as he says that, literally like it fucking plummets. Like this, like the price plummets from like 75. Yeah. The price plummets from 75 cents to like 50 cents. And then it keeps kind of going down throughout the night.
So what you're saying
I lost like
is
$50.
What you're saying is that this is like 4D reality now. Like the comedy,
chess, yeah.
Like the comedy has reached out into reality. Like where they realize that since SNL isn't funny anymore, they actually have to make things happen in the real world that are funny. Like everyone losing money on Dogecoin is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah,
right. Well, actually,
that was the joke.
Got a huge bump from Dogecoin. Think about it. It's like people are thinking.
I think
like
Lorne Michaels
was going to get pumped on SNL. No, the opposite.
Yeah, Lorne Michaels was one of the whales and he just dumped it. So then the price dropped. That was all part of it.
Who was the whale?
I was just saying Lorne Michaels. He's like the guy, the creator of the SNL, the guy running the show.
He knew
this
it all
This is
along.
a joke. This isn't real.
It's like 4D chess, man. I'm telling you.
I think there are a couple like large wallets of Dogecoin that are out there.
Oh, there's one wallet that has like billions of dollars of Dogecoin.
Jesus Christ,
which is insane.
I have to imagine how much money you'd have to want $1 billion of Dogecoin. I didn't feel like that is a safe investment.
I mean, I guess if you were, it could be some wallet that was mined like way long time ago, and it's just sitting somewhere and no one has access to it.
Yeah, it has to be because
I got screwed out of 14,000 Doge by Bitrex, the exchange, because like I had it was so worthless, and then they delisted it. They might have warned me, but it was so worthless I didn't care, and it evaporated. Because I had no wallet, there was no wallet or anything at that time, so whatever. And now they're relisting it, and so I sent them a message like, "Hey, where's my Doge?"
Yeah.
Good luck, right?
Yeah.
Right. Fuck.
That sucks.
But whatever, shit. That's the world of shit coins.
Yeah, I lost all my Nexus. That shit that Bergman was pushing real hard back in like 2018.
That was the official punk rock libertarians coin for a long time.
Nodes in space. That's what got me into Nexus. It was a cool nodes in space. I'm in.
Yeah. And I mean, he was a big libertarian guy too, the creator. He was he worked for like Elon Musk or something. He worked for like SpaceX or something.
Wasn't Patrick Byrne involved in that?
His dad is Cantrell.
Cantrell was involved.
Formerly affiliated with Elon.
Right.
Had his own like rocket companies for a while. Jim Cantrell is not part of Nexus, but
his son, his son,
But
they were trying to put, they're trying to put like satellites into space to basically have the network live on these satellites or something. But it ended up just being complete vaporware and never happened. But I had a whole bunch of Nexus that was on this cryptocurrency site called Cryptopia, and then like I just like it was Nexus, so like I didn't care enough to like move it to a wallet, and then their fucking exchange got hacked.
Well, there were no wallets for Nexus for a long time.
For a while there weren't, but I think at this time there were, and I was just still too lazy. I was like, whatever. And then like this, and then Cryptopia got like hacked and taken down.
Nah, man, that's not how that went down. Just look at that name, Cryptopia. That was a scam from the beginning, bruh. They just robbed you blind.
Sounds too good to be true.
What are you, like an 80-year-old woman or some shit? You give out your email to random people who email you. Oh, you want my social security number here? You can have it.
So I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid to
give
buy
anybody shit, dude.
Boomer Jared over here.
There was no KYC for that site.
Just do hardware wallets only.
So, yeah, I mean, everything else I have is hardware wallet. Well,
yeah, but I don't want to have to run a full node though. I'm like,
you don't have to run a full node. What are you talking about?
Just to make sure that Bitcoin, when I pull it off the exchange, that it's like legit.
Or you could just wait for it to confirm 10 minutes later.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You send it to your wallet.
But I was instructed to run a node first and to see.
If you were doing a lot of transactions, I think it would definitely help you speed up the confirmations. But you also, when you run a node, you're actually providing a service to the network, and like strengthening Bitcoin by running the node. So there's other reasons to run the node.
Well, I was too nervous to. Well, because like the laptop that I have, I don't know, it's kind of old. I didn't want to like overload it.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with. That's not how it works, dude.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get.
I break it down.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
If you send it to a wallet, you're sending like it doesn't matter where that wallet lives. It's just the address on the Bitcoin network. Yeah, I mean, if you have if you're getting like fraudulent Bitcoin addresses somehow, then yeah, I mean that could be concerning. But if you are confident in the wallet that you have and you're confident that's creating a Bitcoin address and you send it to that address, then you got nothing to worry about. You don't need a full node.
Yeah, that's why I'm nervous because like the one that you've been sending me that like months ago. Yeah, no.
Yeah, nothing to be nervous about that, huh?
Yeah, I'm just worried like because I haven't gotten it yet. I've been meaning to do it, and every single time I have money, something always comes up, and I was blown on something else. Lots of cocaine. And
one thing to remember with the hardware wallets is that certain attackers, if they have possession of your hardware wallet, might end up being able to break it eventually. There's seems to be some conflicting information, but if they try hard enough, they might be able to like crack your ledger or your Trezor if they have physical possession of it. Like they might be able to extract your keys.
Okay, well, I got a top secret safe in my house.
Well, I mean, if you have a Bitcoin wallet on your phone, that's even less secure than that.
Yeah, see, right. I don't want that. I want to
run your.
Yeah, that's why I said like I want the cold one that you sent me. Like I want that one. Like I want to make sure it's something where no one else can get to it. Put it in my safe in my house.
I mean, theoretically, yeah, you could have a hardware wallet that's like buried in the ground and just send to it periodically and.
As you say, like, nothing is 100% secure because eventually it has to connect to get the goddamn Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So you could easily just say, take an old phone and set that up as your wallet and take off all of the like actual, basically set it to Wi-Fi only and shut your Wi-Fi off when you're not using it. And here you go, cold wallet, cold storage.
Right.
Yeah, but with a phone, how many times have you fired it up and it's like, oh, an update's required. Oh, do you need to update this app? Oh, you need to update the OS to update.
You gotta get a flip phone.
Oh, next thing you know, you've disconnected. Like that phone is not reliable.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
why I said that Jared sent me the good one to get, so I might just do that soon because I need everything's on the exchange. All of my shit's on the exchange.
Well, this is bullshit, Jared. You haven't sent me a good one to get.
Do you want a good one to get?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When it gets to the hardware stuff. Every time I've asked people about the hardware, I get just the dumbest answers about shit. Like, just tell me what the fuck I need. Don't give me, you can go with this company. This company doing something cool.
I recommend the Trezor Classic, which I've used several of and have recommended them to others, and I've never had any problems.
I have a Trezor and I have a Ledger, and I'd recommend both of them.
There's a newer Trezor that has like has its own like bigger screen, and
that's what I have.
And you have to try to type in. Do you have to type in your like on the device itself?
Yeah, like so in that you actually are typing it into the device instead of having to type it on your computer. Like you can basically do
really tiny, right?
It's tiny. Yeah, I mean if you're like an old boomer, then I wouldn't get that. But
somebody, yeah,
if you're fat fingers. What if you got fat fingers?
But somebody I know complained about
it's fine.
On
Someone complained about it,
but The Tressor's got a lot of great
I
security
can
features.
show you guys what it looks like.
Yeah, but that one's like how many? Like I gotta like what is it in euros or like or it's in pounds or something? It's like 200 pounds.
This is the screen size on it. It's not that. It's not that small.
That's the
pretty
one.
big. I like the. I don't know if there's any like security reasons to get that one over the older one, which is cheaper and just doesn't have that screen function. I guess.
What's funny is that nobody here realizes that wasn't really a Trezor. That was actually the controller to Otto's butt plug that Jared has.
Yeah,
That's the vibrate feature.
It's like the webcam shit.
Who holds the private keys to Jared's ass?
Every time you add to the Patreon, every time you donate to the Patreon, Otto gets a little vibrate up the butt. It's like when they drop the tokens in the fucking webcam shit, chicks.
I'm not gonna lie. Anytime I have ever received money from doing a podcast, I'm like, it's about the same. It feels like that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm all about that.
We had somebody that upped their donation because Alex used the word John.
Yeah, he's saying
and
John.
it reminded her of her youth, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, because she lived in the Maryland, Pennsylvania area.
Well, obviously she has a big crush on Alex, but that's understandable. Right?
Yeah,
he's like the teen heartthrob of the show, right?
Yeah. That beard, man.
So wait, I thought that was my role. So what the hell's my role?
This is the guy wearing the Hawaiian shirt.
I know. I love this shirt. This shirt's fucking rocks.
Looks comfy.
Palm trees. Yeah.
I need a
Ready to boog.
Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see
what
my
happened
hat.
To the are the Boog Boys still around? Is that?
Yeah. Look at my hat. You see it?
Nice.
Got the AK on it.
I think they got smart and realized that the CIA wants to kill them all,
right?
And they've probably stopped being so overt about their operations.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
We move that like camouflage Hawaiian shirts now to try to blend in.
They just have like business suits with Hawaiian shirt prints on them. I'm a normal businessman.
What we need, like, what we need are like, what if we had like special like rings or handshakes or way to identify each other, like out in the real world, like, oh, you're down with the boog? Yeah,
you mean like Sig Heil?
No, we need a
secret like.
We just need
old Sig Heil.
People used to signal each other, or
we need graphic tees.
What's that?
We need graphic tees that just have igloos all over them.
Or
just
Fiestas.
some display of an igloo, right? Like if you're wearing or maybe a little lapel pin with an igloo. It could be anything, right?
Or what I would do? I would want mine to be like an homage to The Night Santa Went Crazy by Weird Al. Because it's
only
like
you would know that, right?
Pulling a lot of things together. Like some dead reindeer on an igloo and like.
But we need them like the way that hobos would have like their own language, and they would be like, this is a safe house, or they'll feed you here, or don't go there, like their own like language of like hieroglyphics, and just maybe we need something like that as this emerging underground culture of certainly an unpopular class. We need to kind of draw from previous unpopular classes to see how they operated.
Apparently James is older than I thought he was, because I feel like hobo is a very like archaic. We call them bums now, and I don't feel like they travel as much as they used to.
Like riding the rails, the traditional hobos. You have that stick with the bandana tied around it. And,
there's a certain aesthetic to the old hobo,
right?
It's the official grifter look,
Yeah.
Come back here again tomorrow. I'll teach you again.
What we call them, like the home unstable or something like that. That's the PC term or something like that.
The home challenged.
Yeah.
The shelter challenged.
Right.
That's ridiculous. There's a great movie where it's about grifters, and the guy that pulls the old, come here tomorrow, 50 cents a lesson, I'll teach you how to steal. And he hands him the money. He says, cool, come back again tomorrow, I'll teach you another one.
Hey, I saw an ad for JP Sears in Philly. Did you see that? $85 for tickets for JP Sears.
I did not see. That'd be awesome.
Isn't he? He's like what, a comedian, YouTube comedian?
Yeah, he's good, and
he's interesting.
he's got a bunch of shows. Evidently, he's quite pop. He must have a good following.
Well, so he pulled this thing, and I love how this worked out because he was always, I think, more attractive to left-leaning people because he's a life coach who picks on life coaches. That's how he got his start.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, the Trump stuff kind of started happening, and he just went full on like right winger, just crazy into it. And I don't feel like he lost his audience, which is weird. Like, you'd think that they'd have turned on him, and I don't think they did.
So he was mocking like PC culture and stuff like that, right?
I don't know. He's just very specific. Like I said, he technically just mocked life coaches. You know,
I'm saying
new age kind of shit. Well, yeah. Now he's like hardcore against left wing culture at all. Know the true story about vaccines and how awful power is and shit. Like, he's definitely woke as hell. Say that.
I think he's definitely like could be one of like the rising like voices of like the Carlins of the these famous like comedians in history. We'll see.
Wow.
And evidently he's got a huge following. So
have you guys ever watched like his old videos? What he used to do?
Yeah, he had that like whole thing where he he dressed up like a one of those hippie like life coach guys, and he would be like, like sit here, and he was just making fun of that whole shit. But yeah, and then I did start seeing videos that you're talking about where it seemed like he was like still going with the mockery thing, but it was more directed at like PC stuff.
So I was talking to Brett about this to him the other day too. I don't know why he came up. So he actually is a life coach. Like, that's what he did for a career, even while he was making comedy bits about life coaches. So like, he's out doing that in the day and then kind of like poking fun at what he does on YouTube. He also has a podcast like where he gets real fourth wall broken with you. He had Tucker Max on a bunch of months ago, and it was like a fantastic interview. Like, nice. He does the Joe Rogan long form interview kind of thing, and he's a very, very interesting guy. So I'm super supportive of whatever the hell that guy's gonna end up doing, and I hope he converts people like crazy.
You want to hear something funny? I've never told anybody about this, but when I first saw JP Sears, like, I thought that's who Mark Claire was from Lines of Liberty.
Pretty much.
I just assumed. I don't know why. It was years and years ago, and I was just like, "Oh, is that Mark Claire?" Like, for a moment, like, that's who I thought he was.
I get so excited to see that you guys are, by the way, finally working together. Because I've been working for fucking 2 years to try and get them to have you guys on the show.
Oh yeah, man, that was fun. As a matter of fact, I was just texting with them today. We had our little signal chat up where we arranged the last podcast we did with them, and it was just, I accidentally posted in there after because I was throwing Hail Marys out today because like I didn't want to overuse you, Nick. I want to
because you want to keep your audience. I understand, man. We can't depress everybody every episode.
No. I love having you on, but like I don't want to overdo it. I know you guys got lives to live, and I try not to drain you guys and make you guys feel committed. So I was just reaching out because everyone, of course, they're doing the Mother's Day bit, which I thought Jared's hilarious one-liner about Mother's Day made me laugh so hard. Jared's in that same group chat, he mentioned, he was like, Mother's Day ends after brunch.
Yeah, they were all like, oh, I can't believe you're, doing a podcast on Mother's Day. And I was like, dude, Mother's Day ends after brunch.
after mom has fed me, I'm done.
Well, no, I fed mom, but
that sounded weird.
Yeah, that did come out kind of weird. But I'm just saying, I paid for brunch.
That's a podcast. That's the podcast title right there. I fed mom.
Ugh, gross.
I know completely. As we were talking SNL earlier, now I'm thinking about his Mother Lover by fucking Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake.
Mother Lover.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, that's gross.
Y'all got MILFs though.
Huh?
Right?
It was Susan Sarandon in that video.
Moms that you like to fuck, right? Because you have wives that are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, are you talking about what?
You can fuck my mom if you want to. I don't know why you would, but
your mom.
Yeah, same here. I'm like, if you're into that, all right,
I'll
cool,
let you,
Jared.
boy.
Well, I didn't know Jared was a chubby chaser. Yeah.
I'm not, but I'll
That's
make
the
an
whole reason why
exception.
I'm on the podcast, guys. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Every woman has her charms.
Aw. Even Hillary.
Human woman.
He's like, I don't go reptilian over here, folks.
I don't go interspecies.
It's have you ever fucked metal? What would I fuck Hillary?
I'm not into cold-blooded, like that's just
Oh,
is it like Dark City up in here where she's just part of a hive mind and is actually just a reanimated corpse?
oh.
Remember the South Park where they somebody snuck a snook up her sniz?
Oh yeah. That was a great episode.
Oh no, I do not
Somebody
recall
had to
that.
go in and disarm it, and they're like, "I'm not sending my men in there."
Wait, was that Hillary or was that Oprah?
That was Hillary.
Oh damn.
Is there a difference between those two?
Yeah. No.
Superficially, yes, but
Pigment, about it.
They're both on the Epstein Island team.
I don't know. Has Oprah killed anybody? Is that verified?
Yes.
Well, she's probably lured quite a few to their death on Epstein's Island. I mean,
it's possible.
I mean, do you get into like the whole boule and the black Illuminati kind of shit?
I didn't know there was a black Illuminati. That's cool.
I mean,
can I join?
I'm tired of the white. The white.
No, dude. I mean,
square as fuck. Yeah.
Go and look at like a lot of black comedians, and look at the trajectory of their careers, and they hit a certain point. And after that certain point, they all apparently lose their minds and do crazy shit like run down the middle of a freeway shooting at people in your boxers. Or all of a sudden up and move to Africa and lose $1 million contracts. There's a lot of speculation about like basically if you don't want to play ball and teach black people to live the way that the certain black people want to live, then you get taken out. Cosby was I know Cosby was implicated in it. Oprah's been implicated in it. It's all your typical conspiracy stuff, though.
So what is the role of Cosby and Oprah in this model?
Oh, they're the ones that run it, and if you don't want to toe the message, then they take you out.
I could see like Bill Cosby. He's in charge of like coming up with like drugs to fuck with you, right? Like he's the pharmacist of the operation, right? Like he's like mixing up like potions to sedate people, or is that it?
Have you ever listened to Monica Perez's like take on the whole Bill Cosby thing?
No, I can only imagine.
Well, I think she thinks he's innocent.
Yeah, I would assume so. Just like every other guy I work with at my job, they all are like, he's innocent. He didn't do nothing. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I don't know.
You think it's just because they're just loyal because they're fans and they like they just can't accept it, or
a little bit, yeah.
Well, R. Kelly didn't do it. Have you ever watched that Chappelle's bit where he's talking about what he needs to believe that R. Kelly did it? And he's like, I mean, maybe if you've got him on a video while my grandmother's holding up the newspaper, pointing out the date, 15 of my homies are in the background, and then maybe I'll believe it.
Oh, dude.
What sucks is like I can't perform R. Kelly like I used to be able to at shows. I have to wait until people are even more drunk than I used to, and it sucks.
Really? People get that triggered?
Dude, people get triggered about all kinds of crazy shit.
I mean, yeah, it's
Big Pun is safe because Big Pun was just a fat guy who died. So that's always I can always lean on that. But I like to.
I didn't know that being a DJ could come with like hazardous duty.
Oh no, I'm not a DJ. DJing is for people who don't know how to play music. Apparently,
Then what do you?
I do acoustic shows, but I like to do hip hop
covers of R. Kelly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh no, they used to be incredibly popular, but the problem is because of like that interview or that documentary that came out a year or two ago, a lot of people turned on him, and so like they have to be really drunk before they stop trying to put on airs about how much they like him. So you gotta wait until they're pretty trashed and aren't trying to like pretend that they don't like R. Kelly anymore. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Like they had that documentary about him that kind of triggered people a little bit more. He's still
like Michael Jackson, even if he's like guilty of what he's accused of.
There are people that really don't think he should play Michael Jackson anymore. I just think he should
not.
Let's just say, and I'm not saying I know that he's guilty because I don't really know, but let's just hypothetically, if say somebody famous, a famous performer was guilty like that, you shouldn't listen to their songs anymore?
I think you shouldn't
rape
kids.
Huh?
I just think you shouldn't rape kids, Don't do
that.
I think that's
or maybe don't try and
agree to that part. I don't think that's
don't try and murder your wife. Don't do that. What was that Tim?
Well, I think it's okay to listen to music after someone does something.
Well, there may be reasons for that, but
I can separate music from the people.
Yeah.
The art from the artist.
Yeah.
Or movies, or actors or authors, right?
Just assume that most people are pieces of shit. So if we want art, we've got to accept.
What's funny is we're talking about separating the art from the artist, and we were talking about Gigi Allen before we got on the show today. Can you do that with Gigi Allen?
No, I don't think you can. He is the art.
Could you look at one of George Bush's oil paintings and admire it for its artistic value?
I'd be looking for the hidden drones in it. I know they're in there.
I'd be looking for the weapons
art.
Yeah, weapons of mass destruction value, first of all, which would be 0. Okay, because there's crap. Okay. But
what if you went to Otto's house and he just had one hanging up on the wall, just like
right next to Hitler's paintings?
Yeah, dude. You just got
I think Hitler was better. I think Hitler was better than George Bush as a painter.
Probably.
What the hell are we even talking about? Has anybody
seen Chairman Mao's paintings? We ought to do like a.
That's what I'm saying. You go to Otto's house and it's just like
amongst the worst tyrants to see what their art looks like.
Otto's just got a whole wall of tyrants of tyrannical art.
You got to see his Xi Jinping, which was just it was weird because it was a plank of wood with a banana stapled to a piece of wood with a little honey drizzled on it.
Wow, that sounded kind of racist.
Not sure
why.
You that one.
Abraham I don't know why. It just kind of did.
I didn't get it, but I think it was racist.
Okay. Here. So because the Chinese people hate black people, as evidenced by Disney's constantly taking black people out of all their posters for China.
Really?
And the honey is a reference. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I know honey's a reference for.
Finn is either
honey's for Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, and honey was the Winnie the Pooh reference.
Gotcha.
They take black people out of the promo posters for the Chinese.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was a huge thing. The Star Wars movies, how Finn was a fairly large character of them. They either took him off or shrank him all the way in the background for all of their Chinese promo materials. They also, Black Panther is in full mask on the cover as opposed to having the mask off like he is in the American version of the poster. Yeah, no, they hate black people over there apparently, or at least in media. Like media, they do.
And they hate black people over here.
Sounds like Otto's house.
Well, how do they rank against like Uyghurs?
It's a good question. As far as I know, they're not the ones in concentration camps. But
just don't talk about it with Scott Horton. All right.
Well, no. So here's the problem with the Uyghur situation, because how much of that's real and how much of that is the CIA?
Yes, thank you.
Very good question.
That stuff's been talked about for years. But if you, I was watching somebody, they were saying if you actually follow all of the people that have talked about it, it all goes back to like this one article written by this one guy who happens to have CFR connections. So maybe it's real.
You're saying the only evidence is one article? I find that hard to believe.
No. I mean, it's the source that everyone sources back to. it goes back to like this one
no
guy.
One's been over there and taken pictures or anything.
So you're not allowed. You're not allowed.
Well, definitely ask Scott Horton about it. If anybody knows the details, it'd be Scott.
Well, the funny thing about that is he was on Spike Cohen's podcast on the Muddied Waters Network, and and I saw it sucks because it showed up on my phone. It says he's live. Spike Cohen's live now with Scott Horton. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to listen to this podcast when it posts on my my iPhone, and it never did. And then apparently, what had happened was those two got into it about the Uyghurs, and Scott got so pissed because Scott thinks kind of in the same vein where kind of me and Nick are, where what's CIA propaganda and what's not. We don't know. And I guess Spike was like, no, it's not propaganda. It's actually happening. I don't know. I didn't hear it. That's the thing. It sucks. I didn't hear it.
I'd like to hear from both of them on the subject. So.
That's the same thing as everyone who freaked out back in the day about Venezuela and, that whole guy that was made the president of Venezuela.
Juan Guaido.
Yeah. And you're like... Everything just seems too easily a pretext to go and send a fucking military to get involved. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The odds of U.S. military action in China, I think, are pretty fucking tiny.
But
at least at this point,
all kinds of actions involving China are happening constantly when it comes.
Of course,
to
yeah. There's economic warfare going on every day
around China. And cutting off China's access to resources in certain regions of the world. So it's not a hot war, but
just to be clear, there's a lot of issues that we're gonna have if China decides they really want to go balls deep in this because of our tech situation. There's all of our modern tech runs off of shit that's only available in China or in nations that China has buddied up to in Africa. So all of our modern cell phones, all the fucking Wi-Fi shit that we use, all of it, can't even be manufactured without China involved in it. We have chipsets that
that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at is it's a little bit more delicate than let's just manufacture. Okay, invading Venezuela, that's no big deal for the U.S. military, right? There's no repercussion for that, But yeah, I mean, doing something in China. Well, yeah, I mean, even if it's hot, cold, whatever, it's going to have serious consequences.
Well, yeah, they want a lot.
I don't like to think anything negative said about any country is automatically CIA propaganda. I mean, you do have to kind of do that fact check on it and say, is this potentially CIA propaganda? Well, sometimes it is, but not every time.
Let's put out a message to our friends that are listening to the podcast. We have a lot of punk rock libertarian fans in China. Let's just let them know that regardless of whatever bullshit that the U.S. government and the Chinese government are pulling, that there's no reason we can't be friends and trade freely. We've got cryptocurrency now. You guys are making chips. It sounds like there's a bunch of assholes trying to interfere and trying to serve their own agendas when really we just need. Let's open up some ports, start sending some boats over, start ignoring the tariffs, any bans, the taxes. Let's, whenever you're ready, guys,
There's an awful lot more you than there are us. So.
Yeah. How about, remember how about a sanctuary city where we have a sanctuary port city? Some grumpy city, maybe, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, right? Or Portland, Maine, or or North Carolina or Florida or something.
Anything with port in the city name.
Yeah.
Well,
actual port.
I don't want to be the one to point out the obvious problems and you say city immediately. The things that they're sanctuaries to aren't usually things that I'm ecstatic about. So.
But what if they were sanctuaries to, for instance, foreign tariffs and trade embargoes and bullshit like that? Where some mayor just said, you know what, we're opening up the port to any Chinese vessel, regardless, we're actually kicking out the State Department or whoever's going to regulate this bullshit.
Well,
wouldn't that just be nullification at that point?
No. So here's how many of you guys follow any of the new kind of city planning things that have been going on? They've offered up thing like what is it like
Definitely
private cities and things like that. I want to say, was it Nevada was actually offering land to start private cities for whatever reason you want to, and giving you some latitude on the laws that were going to be enforced within the jurisdiction. The idea being similar to like the special economic zones in China, which when you think of like Hong Kong or Taiwan, which they would consider special economic zones, and look what those fucking cities did, because they basically just were given carte blanche to ignore the more restrictive rules of the mainland. I mean, that's all the Hong Kong thing sucks, but it also sucks for China, because the more they fuck that up, the less they're going to be a strong economic power. Like, it's just that was what made them their money. Like, being able to rob them blind of one of the wealthiest cities in the world was a pretty useful thing.
Well, I mean, it seems kind of like that. That's happening all over the world right now.
It is.
Look at the way they like destroyed Manhattan recently. You know, like.
But I think that's on purpose. Because man, all those industrial buildings that were used for those big businesses that are now all working from home, they're going to be able to fit a lot of pods in those buildings, some cheap, affordable housing.
So you mean like Matrix style pods, or?
Well, no, that's what they call
millennial pods.
That's what they call the houses.
They're like hostels. Yeah, they're like hostels.
Are they buying up like blocks of Manhattan real estate now?
Yeah, I don't know that it's happened quite yet, but there is going to be a reckoning. I think it's because of it hasn't really taken place because we have the what do you call it, rental. They put it in place for COVID.
You can't evict people.
Like eviction ban.
The moratorium.
The
minute that shit ends officially, and those companies don't go back to their leases, someone's going to need to get rid of it. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of available property, and the cheapest and easiest way to do that's make affordable housing. And so that's what's going to do, and they're going to get rules relaxed on what they can do, because New York isn't going to want to lose the revenue of having those places be businesses or making money. So I think it's the first step to really getting the smart cities that they want.
But I mean, if you're like a multi-generational, like rich family with a long time horizon, you're probably just waiting for to get the best possible deal you can on Manhattan real estate, knowing that what it's going to be in 50 years from now, it's going to be still going to be Manhattan. Like, it's not going to go. Probably not going to sink into the sea yet.
Oh no, it's never. That's the thing. I don't think it'll ever sink into the sea. They're working on their smart cities initiative. They want more people in the cities. They want to get the people out of the country. Like, you watch their videos, like their promotional materials, when they're talking about all those sad people out there who didn't get with the program, and they have their sad lives. They think they're better off, and they don't understand all the good stuff that we have here. That's the way they talk about people that don't want to move there.
78B.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, go read all go read your great reset shit, man.
Dude, I saw a FEMA bus just parked at this park and ride, right by my house.
Did you hump it a little?
I wanted to I've never wanted to have an RPG more. No, I was driving. I just can you imagine just
why would that stop you?
Blow it up.
Yeah, why didn't you put a bomb on it?
What are you coming for? I know.
Just
what
kidding.
Are you doing here, Mr. FEMA?
Just kidding, CIA. This is a comedy show.
Speaking of Great Reset, you will own nothing and be happy, right? Isn't that the slogan?
Exactly. You'll own nothing, have no privacy, and be happy.
Okay. Now, Pete Quinones just mentioned it. Didn't he have a show blocked on Spotify, one of his podcast episodes?
Oh yeah. For
what? Was that actually on the Great Reset, an episode?
No, I don't think so. I think it was an
episode about that got banned.
I think it was vaccines.
No, it wasn't the vaccine. It was. What was it?
I just listened to it. Crap. I don't have my phone. All right, check it.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can figure that out as we move over to the after hours.
That's right. Get smooth transition because we're coming up on it, guys. We didn't talk about shit. this podcast. I mean, we did. We had a lot
We
of
save
good
all
things.
the good content for after hours now.
Yeah, motherfuckers. I saw the title of last week's, and I meant that last week's after hours when I couldn't make it, and you guys were
What was the title?
shit. I don't know, something about me. I don't. Nick's laughing. I think he remembers.
You didn't listen? Come on,
yeah.
No, I didn't listen to it yet. I just saw it pop up in my email. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Well,
Trash
if you're
it.
not here,
Trash it.
that's the rules. You know, we
I don't even remember what we talked about, to be completely honest. But
No,
I
Phil was.
don't
We
know.
couldn't film or. Oh no, Phil could not be, or Otto could not be on the show because his wife had to go to bed, and so we were making fun of him having like not being able to have sex for a long time. Being a premature ejaculator.
Well,
Otto's
you know what?
disappointing sex tape.
Yeah,
That's
there
the
you go.
title.
Right.
Marriage
Well,
advice.
Sorry, I
Woodstock,
stumbled over that
Big Tech.
explanation, but yeah.
So
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
after-hour show here, we're going to leave the camera on tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah,
So
we're leaving it on, baby.
Our camera is going to be on the whole after-hours show. So you
It's
know,
fucking lit. I get to tell you guys all sorts of fun stuff too on the after hours. And if you want to listen to it, I suggest you guys go over to our Patreon. Please sign up for as little as $1 a month. You get to listen to this awesome episode. We're gonna record it right after this. And if you guys don't like using Patreon, please check out PRLfans.com. There's other ways to donate to the show.
Dude, just
Fans.
go send Jared $60 right now. Secure the next year. That's what you should do.
There you go.
Send him $60. Do it.
Yeah, send me 50. I need money
Send
to
it in
get to
Bitcoin.
Pittsburgh. I don't want to have to suck dick hitchhiking.
Don't send it in
to
Dogecoin.
get to Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Do not send it in
Please.
Dogecoin.
there's all sorts of don't.
I'll accept your Dogecoin if anybody wants to pay Dogecoin. No problem.
Send James all of your Dogecoin, all of it.
All of it.
But yeah, so please check out that. And if you guys could also go over to libertariancountry.com, we have t-shirts for sale. Use the code PRL or PRL Podcast for a 10% discount, or spend $50 or more and get yourself a 20% discount with the code PRL2. This podcast was brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder what he's up to. He probably got banned on social media. again.
Moralizing somewhere.
Yeah.
He's bobbing about.
Sounds about right.
Well, until next time, live free.
Or die.